Welcome back to Clipping In with Nick Scortino. This week we got a little bit to talk about. We'll be diving a little bit into how July is currently going and what's going on with that with me and everything going on. I got a lot of things coming up that I'm currently doing with my buddy Kyle. We're going up to see Arsenal this Saturday. This will most likely come out tomorrow, which will be Friday. So the next day I'm going to see Arsenal, which will be a lot of fun. Driving up to MetLife, and then pretty much I'm going to be doing a lot of driving this weekend, pretty much. So we'll be hitting MetLife on Saturday, drive back down to LBI probably Saturday night or Sunday, and then go from LBI back to back home Sunday night, because Monday, I'm pretty pumped up about this. Monday, I'll be in studio in Peloton Studios, New York, for a 30-minute class which will end up being my 300th class. So I'm pretty pumped up about that, and I'm very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. It's I believe it's a intervals and arms class with Kendall, and luckily my finger healed. Last Friday, I was holding the bottle of wine, and it because every Friday night at the club that I work at down in LBI, we have Friday night parties, and so I was bar backing for them and stuff, and I was holding the bottle of wine, and it just shattered while I was holding it. I didn't do anything, and a piece of glass flew up and sliced my finger. So it sliced my finger right on the knuckle, and it was pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. I was not really able to bend my finger for a couple days, but now luckily I'm able to do that. I tested my finger out these last couple of days with some weights and everything worked out great. And so pretty much, I've had that going on so far in July. For me, I have ridden 251 miles. So I definitely don't think I'm going to hit the mile mark that I hit in June, which was 466. It's just I was riding like a maniac, and now I'm trying to get myself back into a some sort of routine where I ride the bike for 5 days, 5 days a week, and 2 days out of the week I'm dedicating to shadow boxing for my cardio, and I'm working more to incorporate more strength. So today I did some lower body stuff, did a little bit of upper body, and then I'm gonna incorporate some more core, some yoga, things like that back into it, so I will be good to go. And then I did obviously I did some shadow boxing, and that was pretty much my workout for the day today. I'm probably going to do something similar, maybe not necessarily lower body, but maybe some more upper body stuff tomorrow. I've pretty much been just solely using the app because I was at 299 rides, and I really wanted to be in studio for 300, because if I'm being honest, if you told, and I've said this before about, if you had told me blah 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 a couple years ago, or like where I'd be, I still wouldn't really believe you. And the fact that I'm already at 300 cycling classes is just mind blowing to me, just to really see how much the progress has changed, and how how I've changed personally. And it's been one of the best changes of my life ever. I've finally found some sort of routine and to do every day, and it's great. I'm now officially down 45 pounds since the end of February, which is unbelievable to even fathom, that losing that much weight, because I used to struggle keeping off 5 pounds, and now I'm fighting to keep off 45. So it's a little rough at times, but I have not been eating the best, but I'm working on getting myself back into shape with that, because That's the biggest thing for me is obviously the food. I need to make sure that I'm eating good and eating correctly and not, consuming as much junk food or anything like that. And it's working so far. I've been slacking a little bit, just a little bit, but it happens. Everybody, we're all human, so we all make mistakes, and it is what it is with that. Not much I can do. Basically, my only response to that is as long as I do some sort of workout or something, it doesn't necessarily feel as bad. Whereas in the past, I would just eat crap upon like a whole bunch of crap, and it would be rough because I would feel awful after it, and then I'd just be like, whatever. It is what it is. I enjoyed eating it, and now I can't even fathom eating it. Like I had pasta for the first time in probably like 3 months, 4 months. I've not had pasta in a very long in that time because I was trying to not consume as much carbs. So, like if my family and I went out to dinner and we went to an Italian restaurant, I'm a big chicken parm guy. One of my favorite things to get every Italian restaurant, if it's on the menu, most likely ordering it. That's always my go-to. And now having, you know, lost a whole bunch of weight, instead of getting chicken parm and pasta and all this, I'd get chicken parm and some sort of vegetable, so I kind of isn't as bad. And that's been one of the bigger things that I have changed in my routine and just lifestyle as a whole. And going back to July and how I've been doing so far. So far in July, I've taken 47 cycling classes, 23 strength, 21 stretching, 11 cardio. I've burned over 19,000 calories, and I've put in a total amount of 22 hours and 57 minutes to using the bike. So pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's pretty standard for me now. I do use the Peloton every day. I try to do something every day just to make myself feel a little bit better. And so if I do eat something I'm not supposed to, I don't necessarily feel as bad. I probably do need to start taking rest days at some point, but as of right now, been, I've been feeling pretty good, feeling pretty confident, and it's been a lot of fun. I've kind of gotten to the point where I do enjoy doing it. Like I really enjoy doing it, and it's become a lot of fun. I'm like, all right, time to get to work, and then basically, I try to find a class that's got some pretty good music that I want to listen to while I work out, or a pretty good class, just in general. And that's kind of what I do. That's basically what I do, and it's worked out tremendously. So the other lifestyle change that I have made is I have really cut back on drinking and alcohol and things like that. I kind of found myself when I drink and I get drunk, or I'm out with my friends and I get drunk, I always tend to overeat or eat a whole bunch of food that I shouldn't eat. And that's kind of been why I stopped. Is I don't really want to consume things like that. I'm trying to most of my calories that I intake during the day, I'd prefer for it to be via food as opposed to um, drinks or alcohol. So like I don't drink like high noons, have like 100 calories. I don't really drink them anymore, and like a whole bunch of other things. Beer, I've cut back significantly on beer. I was a big Labatt Blue guy, so um, I still, every once in a while I'll have a beer or two. I'm not like, making myself crazy, but like I have not really like gone out this summer. I've gone out a couple times, and if I have, I've usually been the designated driver, and that's fine with me. I'm quite okay with that, and it's helped me a lot because since I've said before how I struggle with social anxiety, and I'm not afraid to really say that anymore because you know it's nice to say that now as opposed to just not really doing much, kind of hiding and you know being really awkward in social all these different social situations and everything like that. And now kind of having the name to it and being open to talk about it. I, find myself when I'm out at a bar, and I'm not drinking, I just kind of hang out. Usually down here in LBI, there's a lot of bands that are going on in some of the bars that we're at. So, I'll listen to the music, talk to whoever I'm with, hang out, and that's pretty much it. And maybe I'll have a like one drink, if anything. Usually I don't. And so, but it's been great. I'm not gonna lie. It's been great for me. If I decide to, like, if I'm home and we're hanging out or we have people over and we're having a couple drinks. Usually, then what I'll do is my go-to is whiskey. I'm a big whiskey guy. That's just kind of what I've gravitated towards, and Coke Zero. Because I used to drink, like, when I go out to bars, I'd always get whiskey Coke, and it would be regular Coke, and I'd be intaking a lot of sugar on top of the amount of calories that are in Coca-Cola and things like that, and realized that that really wasn't great. So now if I do go out to, you know, drink like that, I'll usually substitute the Coke for Diet Coke, but that really hasn't happened too much. Last time it happened, I ended up ordering Papa John's, which from DoorDash, which was very expensive and honestly not that great. So I really kind of screwed myself on that one. But since then, I've not really done too much, which has been great. And yeah, I think it's just something that you know I realized the one thing with drinking is, for me, in the types of situations that I was in, where if I was in a packed bar or anything, I would just kind of stand off to the side, not really say much. I talk to my friends occasionally, but I basically just kind of stand there and drink. And I'm the type of person where I need to have a couple drinks to really come out of my shell, and so I'm kind of trying to learn different ways to do that without using that, because I there's a lot of times when I really don't want to even have a drink. And I I'm not, like, I don't do this very often. If we're being completely honest, I do not do this very often. But it's just something that has helped me, is cutting back on my alcohol intake. And like I'm a big I like going to sporting events. I'm a big hockey guy. I like going to hockey games, things like that. I always go. I get like a beer or two, things like that. And now when it comes to that time of the year, I probably won't even get beer. I'll probably have a water, or if I decide to get like diet soda, or if they have a zero sugar option, then that's probably what I'll end up doing. But I've it's helped tremendously, just because when you're watching what you're eating, when you're carbs and stuff to be, or like calories to be liquid, because it's just not really great. It's not a great option, because it's kind of unnecessary when you really think about it. And I'm happy now that I've learned that, and it's helped tremendously through this. And I genuinely think that if you are trying to lose weight like this, and working out a whole lot, changing your whole lifestyle, it might be your best option to think about that. And if you do, great. If not, and you still want to go out and do whatever, go for it. I'm not telling you how you should do this. I'm just saying what has been working for me, and so far this has just been working great for me. And I'm honestly I've been having fun. I really don't mind being the designated driver, because for me it works out perfectly, because I always know that I have a ride there and a ride home. Because in LBI, Ubers can get a little dicey sometimes. You can go out to a bar and not you can get an Uber there. Usually you can't get an Uber home, and I prefer to not walk, because I've done that once from a bar down here, and it was like a 4.5 to 5 mile walk home. And I did that in a pair of Vans, so it was safe to say I could not really walk the next day. And so, but yeah, pretty much that's just on that whole topic. It's one thing that I really um noticed in myself, and noticed how it has changed. um it's helped tremendously just by stopping having a couple beers and stuff when I'm out at dinner or things like that. And it's just helps tremendously when you're trying to actively lose this weight. And it's it's nice. I will say it is nice, once you kind of get used to it, because like I I did used to like to drink beer. I used to drink like beer for sporting events, things like that. And now every time I do drink a beer or two, my stomach hurts and I just have terrible stomach aches. So I try not to really do that anymore. And so the next thing I kind of wanted to pivot into was how how my life, and whoever else is listening, and whoever else is going to listen to this further down the road, how you face so many ups and downs in life. And one thing that I kind of was thinking about the other day was, I was listening to music, and I Fall Apart by Post Malone come on, and I was listening to it, and it is a slower, more emotional song. Like, definitely switches your mindset when you're listening to it. And the one thing I just kept thinking of was, you know, how the one lyric is "I fall apart down to my core," and it really started me thinking, you know, that is true. But for like this whole journey for me, it resonated a lot with me because I basically had to fall apart and basically back down to my core, my you know bare bones, everything back down to square one to build myself into this new person that I wanted to be. And that's one thing that I didn't really know that I needed. Basically, is I did not know that I needed to you know fall apart to pick up the pieces and build the person that I really want to be and the person I know I can be. And that's just that's one mental wall that you just got to break down at some point if you're going through something similar to this, going through you know what anything. If you really want to start making changes to that will benefit you and benefit the people around you, whoever, if you really want to start making those changes, you're gonna have to do something similar to this. And it's tough. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna say it's easy just as the flip of a switch. It is tough. I mean, for the longest time, I've been against exercising and eating correctly and eating normal food. And now I've tried not to eat out, which is very, very rare for me. I used to eat out a lot, and now if I do eat out, I've really noticed that I do make better choices. The other night, I ordered a chicken Caesar salad from a place instead of getting a cheesesteak or any of these like other like big sandwiches that are heavy and like French fries and stuff. It's amazing with what you can do when you start to become this new persona, this new person that you want to be, as opposed to just kind of going by, you know, going through life, going through the motions. Because you know, you have to start to learn how to deal with your inner demons, which for me, a lot of it is mental and food related. That's just how it is for me. Like a lot of it for me was just changing my mentality and going from you know I'm don't really give a shit to, hey, I need to start doing something every day, no matter what it is, to really better myself. And slowly but surely I got myself into that routine, and I don't really want to get out. That's just what it is, and it's tough. It is. It takes time, effort, and work, but once you really get it, it's it's amazing, and it's so much. It's become so much easier to do things. Like since I've lost all this weight, I've played golf twice, and I was like, I don't really know how I played before that because I had this massive gut. Now it's not a I still have a gut, but it's not nothing nowhere close to what it used to be. And when you really start to do that, fight your demons, I like if I'm being honest, I still have those fights all the time. There's times when I'm sitting by myself and I get in my own head. I start thinking about different things, and you know, I just have some stuff creep up into my head, and it's just you gotta learn to fight the negative thoughts, fight just about everything, and really get yourself into that mindset of let's fucking do this. Because once you're there, it works out so nicely and so much better to your advantage, and it you know it can just it changes you so much to the point that it's just such a positive boost. And you just once you start feeling better and once you start seeing results and progress and things like that, you just it all switches and you start to become this completely different person, which is basically what I've been. I mean, I now talk to people openly about, you know, this. I used to not want to talk to people about how much I weighed or the clothes I was buying, things like that, because it was embarrassing. It was really embarrassing to talk to people and be like, yeah, no, I am wearing this shirt and it's a triple XL, and or if I'd go to a concert or a sporting event, things like that. If I wanted to buy a shirt, usually I didn't have my size, or the size that I had. The shirt sometimes didn't fit me because of just the way it was, and I now luckily don't have to really worry about that too much. But it's something you really start to think about, and something that really starts to weigh on you after a while. And when you really think about that, it's sad. But now, you know, since this, it's been great. I mean, my shirts are a little bit bigger now, and they fit a lot more. They're a lot more comfortable to wear, and it's just it's awesome. But a lot of that too is your mentality, and once you can break the old mentality, break the old routine, kick down the door, and really let this new person that you want to be through, it's it's tremendous. It's fantastic. And once you can figure that out and do that, you're already, 15, 20 steps ahead of most people that are trying to do this, cuz that right there is the biggest key to all this is getting the mentality right. And once you get the mentality right, you could the opportunities are endless. And it's nice. There's really no better feeling than doing any of this. And it's become second nature to me, and it's just a hell of a lot of fun to do. I mean, it's just nice to do, nice to get up. I either start my day or I do it later in the day depending on my schedule or anything going on, and it's just fun. So, I think that pretty much wraps up everything that I wanted to talk about and everything that I had written down, things like that. So, thank you all for listening, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.